6 seconds. They're at like 45 mana each.
Yeah. They're both at 10 mana. And Alex going to start building armor total now. He knows.
I think this is just right.
And again, fishou just sort of doing the same thing, trying to empty out his hand to make room for the cards he's going to draw from Ultimate Infestation next turn.
It's also worth noting that in a lot of Druid matchups in the past, you could really consider playing Malygos. It was a card that drew
because of the various must-kill minions that exist.
He's got Jasper Spellstones in hand to start mopping up this board position and getting some pressure going, and Alex just didn't really find anything relevant.
Because with Ixlid and Faceless Manipulator, if you assemble the full combo,
well, that's the Tri-Malygos turn.
Yeah,
that
damage
Malygos?
That's very hard.
Yeah, the quad Malygos turn you're not living through.
Yeah, that's a very tough thing to overcome with just armor totals alone. But you can get out of range of a lot of the other combos.
Jade Druid just really didn't have. Savage Roar's not found in the decks because it's not a flexible card. Branching Pass offers a lot of that flexibility, granted at a higher mana cost, but that's something that Druid's very willing to make.
Really much that he can do besides just protect his minions.
I think the Branching Pass is looking fantastic in these coming turns here. I mean,
yeah,
he's going to wipe out this Ironwood Golem, and Ironwood Golem, why did I call it that? Is that what it is?
Because that's what it's called.
Why did I think this
That's why you called it that.
I'm losing it.
Why did I call that minion by its name?
It's George, not Ironwood Golem.
Conservative with those tools, potentially. But Alex just going to go ahead and start getting rid of some of these minions now. Still missing Aviana and still missing Kun.
Forgotten King is going to have to use important spells to really get this done. And fishou's going to naturalize to try to take one of those important burns. He says, I know Alex still needs a couple of cards. I'm going to try to force him to draw and overdraw those powerful turns.
Cards.
This is...
If Aviana's in this, it's going to be very hard. There's Aviana.
Oh my gosh. It's not super unlikely that...
Maybe his opportunity there is to just play Malygos and hope it lives, but...
I mean, that is the hope, but he knows that Poison Seeds is in fishou's deck too.
The armor game would have been able to deal with Malygos, so...
Yeah, the fishou's played this really brilliantly. Wait for the right time to try to go for a burn. If you see one of those super important burns, you know, play for the...
He has to.
But, you know, again, seeing the fishou gain a bunch of armor there, you have to anticipate that Poison Seeds is coming, but... And having to use this Poison Seeds is going to make fishou a little bit nervous here, too.
Yeah.
Because now he knows that if Alex plays Malygos...
Left doesn't have a huge potential damage. It's dealing 4 damage a turn and the 13 damage from Moonfire plus Living Roots. And he's got a big armor tool, so he's got a few turns to kill Malygos because there's no other spells left.
It's a true story. That would have been the fist pump behind that Moonfire burn.
Yeah.
Look at the reaction from Alex.
That was his last hope. Malygos surviving and being able to attack multiple turns was his last hope. And even 41 points of damage with these 3 2/2s.
That's not going to happen.
And just the hero power. I guess the minions that he spawns from Malfurion will be...
Yeah, I don't see a possible condition to
be protected. It's behind this 1/5 Scarab Taunt. But it's not nearly enough.
The problem is the fishou's protected behind all of his 1/5 Scarab Taunts.
Yeah. And is going to be able to shuffle, and the fatigue damage starts to come in. This one's over for Alex. He concedes. fishou takes game 1 in the series.
Really impressed with the naturalized use. 1/1s and does other stuff with their cards. Start. You get 2 1/1s. You get a 1/1 and extra mana.
A little bit different from the Druid does nothing for 5-6 turns start. But double Mad Scientist. Not only is this going to fight for this board, but it's also going to serve that deck thing purpose getting those secrets out of the deck so that way he's not drawing those later on in the game when he'd want to draw other things.
He did draw an Arcanologist and an Ice Block in those consecutive turns as well, so a bit unfortunate for the fishou, but
well, there's still one sort of fight that. That's just a lot to get through, but you can't expect to just win the game by casting spells later on. So I think he understands that that's the only
amount of attacking he would have to do to make up for this. I don't buy it. Like, I don't see that happening.
Well, we saw his game plan early by using that Living Roots on turn.
This is 8 turns of attacks when he's 1/1s he'd have to get. And see it happening sometimes.
I mean, the other point is that fishou has absolutely no way to just directly remove minions. There's no just damage spells in this
that's
deck.
a really good point, actually.
The also have a Doomsayer and hope that Alex doesn't have a way to remove it. That's it. But once he plays a minion, that minion's sticking.
The attacks came in at this point, because now this is Forgotten King gets drawn. Ultimate Infestation, 5 fresh cards, and suddenly fishou's under pressure now. And he's going to have to start using these freeze effects. That's going to give Alex an opportunity to
buy himself some time.
These next couple draws seem pretty important. Not just for Alex, but for the fishou as well. He desperately needs
Old Light Oracles. Or just draw all the final 2 combo pieces in the next couple turns.
brother.
Well, that's going to be more pressure. Fishou running out of time. He will be staring at, I believe, lethal damage on the board, and then some with the swipe. Plus a hero power and on this mini damage on board, so.
Wow. He could draw Simulacrum, right? Because it discounts to 2, and then draw more Reflection. He has to draw another way to get a Sorcerer's Apprentice. Oh, there's only one Simulacrum in his deck, right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't even do it anyway. There's one Simulacrum, and he's already played it. And he wouldn't have enough mana to be able to do the full combo if he had to play a 2-mana Simulacrum, because he'd have to play
a 1-mana Simulacrum. Direct removal, I was like, oh, wow, he is a genius.
Yeah, he knows the deck from Fishou, and he played against the deck with the right strategy by presenting the threats turn after turn, even though at first they were small threats.
I don't know about this one, TJ, but the Fishou is looking like he's in trub.
I would say so. Emperor Thorson just being thrown down on 6 does hit a few of
Emperor Thorson, the Artificer.
He could go to Fatigue now that Alaneth has been played if he lives long enough and forces removal maybe on these high priority minions like Emperor Thorson.
Wouldn't couple that with the Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yeah. It's true. But that doesn't really matter too much unless he had all of the combo pieces in his hand already.
But when the Fishou plays Emperor Thorson this early, something that he has not really done thus far, are you worried about that at all? Oh my. Thankfully we have this handy-dandy 4-cost Blizzard in hand for this situation. Looks like now that Alex has seen one of those Blizzards, he's comfortable using this Flame Waker, knowing that it's not going to die in consecutive turns. Also, it's just his hand size. He's going to really account for that in some measure.
He might as well get this mana utilization out of the way, and he's counting his damage. He's got 12 damage in hand next turn. If he goes with the double Ice Lance this turn, which would be an extra 8. So put him down to 14. So very close. If some of these shots hits face, he does have a lethal setup going to the following turn.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Artificer afterwards. This is somewhat concerning.
I don't either. At this point, it doesn't matter how far these cards are reduced.
Pyroblast is fine, I guess. Just a lot of damage all at once.
He's probably hoping for something that he could just play this turn, like a Frostbolt or maybe even another Arcane Missiles. But it's going to be 5 damage split across the board. And and still has enough mana for 2 additional burn spells. Which are probably going to be Roaring Torch, Forgotten Torch.
Man, it's just issues. His combo's just been ripped apart at this point. I mean, he's expended his resources trying to
I was going to put him at 1.
do anything to fight. I think much wiser to play the counter spell here. That's right.
And then proc the block, so that way doesn't get the ice block pulled.
This has just been domination in this game for Alex.
And that's what we expected coming into this one. And he's almost out of cards, but fishou was out of defensive plays to make to keep himself alive. And this game 3 is going to Alex.
One game away. Survive that AoE, get something to stick to the board, have Loatheb happen, and then Sunkeeper Tara. This is what I think one of the dream starts for Alex in this matchup. And he's faded what I would consider probably one of the most important turns. Barnes. He's not there. He gets 4 guys. That is about the best draw in the deck. I mean, if you could pick a better one, I'd like to hear it.
See what he pulls in, it is Obsidian Statue. Kicks out a 1-1. But Alex is just going to go ahead and play the Loatheb. And next turn he has 5.
Couple that with burn spell. I'm sorry, with the effects necessary. So if he's going to resurrect, he's now also relying on the effect to go beneficially for him.
Opts not to put the fishou at 2. That's a great set.
It's a pretty darn good draw.
Oh, Redemption. Sorry, not Avenge. It was one of the 2, and I leaned towards Avenge.
One of the 2 in this one.
Let's see.
Oh,
Gets it.
mama. That is huge for the fishou.
And Competitive Spirit will proc, but Alex needs Spellbreaker. The Excavated Evils, there's Light Bomb, and there's the Psychic Scream. So there's a pretty big chance that there's the removal spell, but Alex just realizes that this is his win condition.
That full board of minions then dies, it will activate.
Yeah.
And I think that's just you can see it in Alex's face. That is the win basically going out the window.
Yeah, and with Eternal Servitude, and even just the natural Obsidian Statue, there's almost no way that Alex can overcome these big minions that keep going back and forth. Some people return.
Yikes. Shadowward Pain. Eternal Servitude, another Resurrect. Take your pick. The fishou has got this one in the bag.
This means we're very likely to go to a Game 5. With a lot of cards being expended, it means even Divine Favor off the top from Alex doesn't give him too many cards, and he sees the writing on the walls. Alex concedes, and we're going to a Game 5.
But this is coming turns.
And absolutely no way to just deal with anything from fishou. No Blizzard, no Frost Nova, no way to stop damage from coming in.
And then that at this point.
Yeah.
Cone of Cold isn't. Oh gosh, that sight. I just forgot what that looked like. That's terrifying.
I remember back when you were 1 match away from qualifying to the American Championship.
You were going to bring this up.
3 games in a row with Secret
I
Paladin.
knew you were going to bring this up. I was trying so hard to avoid it.
Back in Admirable's days of playing. I'm pretty sure that was the match that solidified.
+7, 16 + 7, 23. So he doesn't get his block pop this turn. That is super important. In fact, it is so important that might be fishou turning the corner.
Yeah, but Spellbreaker drawn, which has
no space on the board?
No space on the board. That's the big thing, yeah.
I guess the Righteous Protector dies to the Blizzard in this instance. Oh, but if he attacks that Haunted Creeper into that, it would spawn the 2 spiders and fill his board back up.
Yeah. So I think this is
Great spot there from Alex.
yeah, and it has the added benefit of not only silencing a
Blizzard.
Doomsayer,
Oh,
but
my. Oh! He didn't life tap first! That wouldn't have given extra damage to this Arcane Artificer. He at least like sees that mistake and he's like, okay, not nearly as bad.
yeah. Well, I mean, here he could silence his own mysterious challenger and attack. Oh no, because the Righteous Prince responds to the redemption, so it would have been a full board no matter what.
Goodness, we're of time to get this done now.
Yeah. I think the Frost Nova kind of has to come on an Emperor Thorstand turn, because you need a way to stop yourself from dying and get your pieces activated so you can actually win the game.
I guess
Simulacrum.
look at this. Alex goes, have your Doomsayer. I'm gonna pop your Ice Block
At 1.
and say you figure it out. I have a Rallying Blade up. You don't have a way to stop it. Good luck. Sacrifices his entire board to pop an Ice Block.
He's got plenty of reload, even if he has to pop the block with. Well, his first block's popped, so he's got to find a way to mount pressure. He can't just keep playing the full defensive game because he'll just never find a way to win.
Time runs out on me.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Another Sorcerer's Apprentice or Molten Reflection.
I don't know about you, TJ, but this did not feel like a 75-second turn.
I hope you like my
No.
invention.
And there's Emperor Thorstand drawn, but he's just going to kill off the whole board and pop the block, basically.
This board is shredded.
Put this apple on your head.
There's the block pop.
Yep.
Just the very first one, it's like no more minions left in Alex's deck that cost 2 or less.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
It's not enough. He has to win the game this turn. He just didn't have enough draws. And Fish is going to look over this hand and quickly realize this. Or slowly realize this.
I mean, this is the last game. Everything's out there. It's do or die. It's not there though. fishou digs deep to look for it, but Alex 3